Hello, welcome to the OverShadow ShadowCast with your host Thomas Anderson and Tech Wizard Abigail Mowat.
Welcome back, everybody. It's nice to see you all.
How are you?
Tired. I'm getting ready to go back to college tomorrow. So it means I'm having to get work done, make sure I've got everything. Having to get used to the fact I'm going to be wearing a mask all day. Having to get my lunches in. I've gotten so used to working from home. Like just getting up and basically kind of just rolling out of bed and going straight into work instead of rolling out of bed, making myself look semi-presentable and having to drive to the college. How are you?
Semi-presentable.
Yes.
I'm declaring a crusade against your accent and your way of pronunciating words.
I am declaring a crusade.
Pronunciating.
I am declaring a crusade against the I'm available between X time and Y time. Then we don't start to Z time.
I don't even know what that is. I'm sorry you lost me there at the end.
I'm
Is
between.
that a French? Was that a French accent? The time.
I am available between the time of X and Y, and we don't start till Z.
Ah, now I understand. Now I understand. It all becomes so clear. Mathematical formulas and pictographs going past my head. I can see it all the way back to the beginning.
Well, if we were going on by the time that I said I was available, we should have finished 10 minutes ago.
No.
I said I was available between 12 and 1.
No, but then I asked you before 12 and you said, no, I'm not available till 20 to 1.
Because I wanted my lunch.
Yeah, that's fine. But if you then say you're available between... That moves the goalpost. So you'd saying that you were available until 1 o'clock?
Initially, yeah.
So 20 minutes. Right,
I made an allowance. I made an allowance.
Of?
I gave you an extra 10 minutes.
Oh. Well, that's all we have time for today. Right, we'll just... I don't actually have any stories to talk about, so why don't you talk about what you've been doing, and I'll talk about what I've been doing, and then I'll talk about an idea I've had, and then we'll go away.
I've been playing GTA Online with your good self. We finally got the carbine. Please tell me I said the right thing and not the thing from Halo.
The thing from Halo is also the carbine. They're both called the carbine.
I'm thinking confused with combine, aren't I, again?
You're getting confused with a combine harvester somehow.
So that's why I kept calling it.
The combine, are they not the bad guys in Half-Life?
I was going to say, are they not the enemies in the Tales of Farthing Wood or something like that? Do you remember that?
A Bug's Life, the big enemy is a combine harvester.
No, not Bug's Life. Tales of Farthing Wood. It was an animated TV series, I think, in like the late 90s. I can't even remember what happened, but I just remember there was I think there was a bunch of like forest animals looking for a new home because their forest got destroyed. Are you trying to think of it?
Nope.
You looked very thoughtful. You looked very deep in thought.
I don't really care about the Tales of Farthing Wood. I just remember a game where you played as a bug that I played in Primary 5. So that would have been...
Many years ago.
That would have been about 1653 BC. And...
That would be the 90s.
Okay, 1693 BC. And I can't remember the name of it. I remember Zumbinis, but I can't remember the name of this game.
Oh, that rings a bell.
Zumbinis, you created so many Zumbinis and you had to take them through a challenge, and how well you did in the challenge dictated whether or not you got basically all of them through. So it was basically how many you got through was how well you had done.
Yes, I remember this. I think it's the same one. Was it like was there not a TV show called the same thing? Like you create out these little robot bugs.
They might have put it on TV in some format, but it wasn't robot bugs. They were like grapes with legs.
I need to look this up now because I remember that.
Yeah. So anyway, other than grapes with legs and combine harvesters killing small cuddly animals, you bought a machine gun.
Yes, and it's a lot more efficient than what I was using.
Essentially, the carbine in GTA is a weapon of war. The what was it? The
They're all weapons
AK-47U?
of war.
No, the AK-47U is a weapon of intimidation. Oh, that's like that from that's Stargate. That's Stargate. You basically were using the Jaffa staff weapon.
I can't remember what they're called.
I don't think the Jaffa weapon had a special
I
name.
bet you it would have.
Yeah, but I don't think they ever used it. There's that Nicotel had one, but they never used the.
I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, we were playing and
And yeah,
it was a lot
and
more
then
efficient.
but then because you can you put it in a context, you've doubled your effective combat range, and for assault rifle type weaponry,
Hmm.
if you're outside of using a sniper scope, and you're much more accurate within that range because the AK-47U couldn't hit very well, and it didn't do as much damage.
No, it took a while.
Yeah, you were there. Just you basically, I had to take a holiday every time you decided you were going to shoot someone.
Oh, thanks. That's
It's
nice.
not. It's not your fault. It's not your fault because when me and my brother started playing it to begin with, we were using pistols, and we didn't have a level 100 guy backing us up, killing half the enemies to make it faster.
No.
So we were literally emptying a couple of magazines into someone to kill them. We had to empty a magazine into someone, and then hopefully we would be able to reload, and then start shooting them before they got back up.
Yeah.
Whereas now, like if I used that revolver that I've got, I'd kill them in a couple of hits. And you've got that golden gun,
Yes.
which kills in one.
I've not used it yet properly.
Yeah, I don't think you should until your shooting skill's high enough because I'm not sure if it would either be a cheaty way of maximizing it or it would be it would possibly reduce the maximize how quickly you increase because if it's each individual successful hit that puts the shooting skill up, one hit kills are less hits than using the carbine to hit for 5 or 6.
No, I would think it's the effectiveness, not the
Well,
rounds.
but then your skill would increase more quickly with more expensive weapons, which doesn't necessarily make any sense
I don't know.
because they could just use a rocket launcher and blow up a car, and
I don't know.
so. I mean, the AK-47U is different though because it's doing so little damage. You are not killing anything, and I think kills also increase it.
Well, for a while there was like
Yeah.
double points or something like that per mission.
RP, yeah, that's
Yeah,
how
but
we got
that's
you to that level so fast.
yeah, but they're not doing that anymore, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, but the level, to put it in a fair context, the level's not really that important beyond unlocking weapons.
Yeah.
And
And also,
I,
if you get to certain levels, you can unlock stuff in the like modifying cars as well.
mhm,
And also, if you
yeah.
run a certain amount of races, it unlocks more stuff, which is kind of annoying.
Well, we could start doing the races if you want.
No, no, I can't even I can't drive in a straight line. Never mind. Sometimes I've got these moments where I can just like zip through the city with no problem because you've seen that, you've witnessed that,
Mhm.
and sometimes it just goes horribly, horribly wrong.
I don't know. Do you enjoy the driving?
I enjoy. I'd enjoy it if I had more control because I don't feel like I've got enough control over the car.
I remember when you tried first person.
No,
Yeah,
just
and
no.
it was honestly like you were deliberately hitting everything.
I wasn't though. Like that was the really
No.
annoying thing. But
Yeah.
sometimes I do deliberately hit stuff
Yeah.
to annoy you.
Yeah.
But most of the time I'm not doing that.
I get ever since I started playing it in first person, I get a real dopamine release when I drive the car. Like genuinely, I really enjoy driving the car.
Yeah.
The driving it round, and I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I will, and I'll thread it between things if there's a room available. Sometimes if a room available, not room available. If there's a room at the inn, I don't know why I said that, but if there's room at the inn, I'll get it,
Yeah.
between the bedposts. But I really just enjoy driving, especially my car, because the cars that we've got and the LWB that I had before, they're really planted cars.
I don't feel like
Like the
that
weight
is.
distribution, it's just really nice to drive those.
I just don't feel like it is nice to drive.
Why?
I drove something which was like a sports car that was really low down, which was a lot easier to control.
Your previous car?
No, in one of the missions where you're stealing a car and you're driving it back to Simeon's. One of those like really sporty cars.
Right, okay.
I preferred driving those because it was a lot easier to control. I don't know if it's because it's lower down to the ground.
I can't imagine it was that fast then, because the faster cars are a lot harder to drive.
Yeah, well, the speed isn't an issue. It's the control of it.
Well, the armor would then become an issue. It could be that your car is lightly armored and that means it's a little bit more squirrely than mine. Because if I'm being honest, I actually did feel when I drove your car that it wasn't as responsive as mine.
Yeah.
So it could be that you've got some upgrades you need to get.
Yeah, I know I do.
Try driving mine next time.
Okay.
It could be that that's what you're experiencing. Maybe when you drive my
Will
car.
you actually let me drive?
Well,
Because you
what
don't.
happened? What happened when we swapped cars and you drove mine and I drove yours?
Yeah, I don't remember.
No, you do remember what happened.
I don't actually remember.
Yes, you do
No,
remember.
no, I'm being serious. I do not remember.
Okay, let me show you something. What's that?
It's a door.
Yeah, so what maybe happened when you drove my car?
The door came off again.
Yeah. How many times did that happen?
I don't know. Every
How
time.
many? Yeah, every time. That's how many times, every. And when you
I had to
when you
steal a car, like a random car at one point. Even that one.
yep, door came off.
The door came off.
Door came off your own car. I ran back to my car at one point to continue a mission, and for some reason a door was missing. I think you ran it off my car.
Yeah.
It's become like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You now subconsciously kill doors.
It's not. I don't mean to.
I'm waiting for the day I come out of my flat, and you're just standing there with a rocket launcher firing into the doors. I'm giving up the pretext. This is just door simulation.
You'll wake up. You'll wake up one day and you'll find I've taken all the doors out of your house, your actual house in real life.
Oh no! Oh no!
Like you go to open your door, you're just like, what? I've replaced them all with shower curtains.
Oh. Oh no! I
Or
don't like shower
those
curtains.
beaded ones.
Replace them with glass.
No, just
Really,
glass.
really, yeah. That would be horrible to do to somebody if they fell asleep and you replaced all the walls with glass. Especially if they slept in the nude.
I don't understand this whole thing with massive glass walls. It just freaks me out.
I like it, but only in certain areas. I wouldn't have it in certain places.
If you can put a
Like-
massive blind over it, okay. But not all the time.
Also, it would signal to everybody in the universe if you had gone out one morning
Yeah.
and weren't planning on being back if you've shut all the blinds, or if when you came, all the blinds were left open because you didn't realise you wouldn't be back.
All your furniture would fade quicker.
And you'd die.
But that's what happened to our couch. The back of it's faded because the sun hits it. My mum saw that. My mum saw that. She said, "What did you do to the couch?" I'm like, "It's the big ball of fire in the sky."
Yeah, we put gigantic big blankets over the fabric couch in the conservatory to stop that.
Yeah, well, we didn't realize it was happening. But we had never seen that before, because up until now, well, the couch has been there for years in that position, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just one of those things you don't really examine it. It's not something you examine every single day. So we had never noticed it changing, because in our old house, the couch was in a different location and it wasn't up against the window.
Right.
Like, no furniture was.
Yeah, I left a pair of headphones, like wireless headphones for exercise, in there since about October. And they were red, and they're now black.
You just send me a picture.
Because all the red has just come off them. Yeah. So the red writing that was on them is now gone. It's just solid black.
So that's
They
what
just look weird.
That's what I've been playing. I've not been doing much else. What have you been playing, good sir?
Well, I'm just going to say that to round out, I'm very glad that you've got the carbine, because that will. Yeah, we saw that you were much more effective and efficient.
Maybe we can play at the weekend.
Maybe. Why was that so suggestive?
It wasn't. I'm just really tired, so my head is resting on the mic.
Maybe we can play at the weekend.
Or tomorrow, Friday. I keep thinking it's Thursday. I keep thinking it's Thursday, and I have this panic. I'm like, I'm supposed to be at school. I'm like, no, it's not. It's Wednesday. Relax. Take a breath.
Yeah. What was I saying? What are you doing?
I don't know. I've been watching Pose.
Is that like an anime faint?
No.
What was I saying?
You were saying about you glad I got the carbine.
Yeah, because you actually turned round and said to me at one point, "Are you not going to say I'm doing very well?" And I said, "No, because you were always doing very well. You just had a rubbish gun. Now you've got a good gun. You're doing exactly as I would expect you to do, because you're good at this game. You just weren't able to show it. If you had a Nerf gun in Halo, you wouldn't be killing anyone. Didn't mean you weren't good at it. You just wouldn't be able to do anything."
Yeah. It's really sad. I made a sculpture and it broke.
Can I just say,
when
did this...
and those things broke off of it.
Reattach them then?
It's clay. It's dried clay.
Have you heard of glue?
I suppose super glue could work.
It's clay. It should work. As long as you don't use something too... what's that word I'm looking for that begins with C, that involves things being eaten?
I don't know.
Corrosive.
Yeah.
That's a melted golf ball. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I just paid you a compliment there, and you've decided to wave clay in my face. Yeah, you're good at GTA Online. You're not as good as me or mine Buddha.
I like the fact that you can't just leave it at "you're pretty good." Still
You're
not as
pretty
good
good.
as me, but you're
No,
pretty.
of course you're not.
Every time, look, you can't just leave it as "you're pretty good at it." You always have to say,
No,
I'm
I
better.
need to put it in context, because if the people I know are listening to this, like James, right, and he's like,
Hi,
yeah, come on,
James.
bring Abigail along and we'll play a game together, right? You're not the same level as us yet. You would be annihilated, and if I said, yeah, she's pretty good, they may expect you to be up to my caliber.
Why'd you keep...
And while you can fight me and make it interesting, unless something is going very wrong for me, you're probably not going to win. No offense meant. That's just the statistics of the matter. So to put it into context, you're nowhere near as bad as you were when you started. I don't think it would take you 6 to 8 months to complete GTA 3 if you played it now.
No, I don't think so.
But you're not as good as us.
No.
I still think there are points of a game where you would hit it and say, I don't know if I can finish this. Whereas that's not the same for us. We could complete almost anything. So that's what I'm trying to say. You're not at the same caliber as me and my brother and the people I play with, but you're probably only a rung or two below that.
Okay. So what have you been playing?
Okay, right. Trying to remember. This is difficult. Played some Gears 5 to level up my characters. The classes for Horde mode. I've really got into it. I really just enjoy doing it now. So, because my mechanic is at such a high level now, 18 out of 20, it's going to take him, is it 60,000 experience points to get to level 19, which is Not, I think it doubles every level. So it's
Yeah.
like 100 to get to level 2, then 200, then 400, and it goes all the way up. So it's like 60,000 experience points would get you up to like level 12 or 13. But now I've got to the point where that'll only take me to level 19. So it's only going to be like 100,000 to get to level 20. So instead of just grinding that out in a really annoying, boring way, what I do is if I'm playing it with other people, I'll go the mechanic because it's my best class and we need a mechanic and it's the fairest thing to do. However, if I'm playing a horde by myself,
Yeah.
and if I'm going for a special objective like headshots or something like that, I'll go a different class. So there's tank, assault, support, and then there's promotional. I don't know why it's called promotional. I don't really understand. So I've picked one in each of the other three classes: tank, support, and assault,
Yeah.
which are veteran, marksman, and mechanic, and I just play those. So the horde mode, just to remind people, is basically just waves of enemies come in. In between waves, you collect energy
Yeah.
and you build fortifications, or you buy yourselves weapons, or you can upgrade yourselves as well,
Yeah.
with perks that you can buy.
Mm-hmm.
And then another wave appears and it goes all the way up. If you're doing horde, it goes all the way up to 50.
Yeah.
And if you're doing frenzy, it goes all the way up to 12. And you get boss levels. So in frenzy, you fight a boss wave at 4, 8, and 12. And on waves, in horde, sorry, you fight them in waves 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And occasionally, like a mini boss thing will come in at the level 15 or 25, or
Yeah.
it's occasional, but sometimes something big will pop in then. And so I picked these extra classes to try and level them up a bit because I wanted to have options. So the marksman, if I'm being honest, is a matriarch. There's a certain enemy in the game, sorry, that is really, really difficult to kill. Each class has perks. So, for example, the mechanic builds fortifications slightly cheaper and can move them faster.
Right.
The veteran, when executing an enemy, doesn't take damage, and the marksman can shoot through enemies.
Okay.
So if one's standing behind another, and I shoot the front one in the head, it'll kill the one behind as well.
Oh, okay, radio.
But that also works if there's specific sensitive spots on an enemy. Then I say, for example, if it's got a patch on the back of its leg, hypothetically, right, or the back of its head or something like that.
Yeah.
Most other classes have to hit it with an explosive or get behind it. I don't, because as a marksman, my bullets pass through. So I just shoot it in the leg, and the bullet passes through. So if there's an enemy that comes up with a specific weak spot, the marksman is just going to wipe the floor with that class,
That it does sound intense.
Yeah, that's a boss killer, that class. That's what that one's for. The veteran it's in the tank, not the assault class, and it's basically just the front line troop. And the special power for that, the ultimate which is different from the passive power that I just described. The ultimate is automatic headshots.
Is that not a bit cheating?
Yeah, but it's the special power. And you also grant automatic headshots to everybody in cover with you as well, if you're all in the same piece of cover. So basically, within a certain radius, if your whole team bunches on you, you give automatic headshots, and you don't. All you have to do is have the enemy on the screen and pull the trigger, and if their head is exposed, it'll explode.
Yeah.
You can literally see the bullets bend towards the enemies. They literally just it's like smart bullet technology. You just poke the gun out the top, pull the trigger, and the bullets bend towards all the enemies, and you don't have to reload.
There's like a movie like that.
Yes. I can't remember what it was called, but yeah. But as I said, you don't have to reload, so that doesn't waste any time, and it's timed. You only have so much time that you're in this act. This ultimate ability lasts for.
Yeah.
I think it's like 10 seconds, but every single shot is a headshot. So if I go into gears and it says get 10 headshots, I just go the veteran, pop into horde mode, hit my ultimate, and just watch the bullets zip towards all the heads. You have to be looking at them, and their head has to be exposed.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like it could just snake around it, like that magic thing from Guardians of the Galaxy. That
No. If I
what's his
fire
face
forward
has.
and it's behind me, it won't hit them. But if I turn and pull the trigger, it will fire off at like a 45-degree angle
Yeah.
and zip straight through its head. They made a change between Gears 4 and 5, which I don't think I agree with. They took away the loot boxes. Hold on.
I was gonna
Hold on.
say
Hold on.
because we're
The
not
loot
fans of loot
boxes,
boxes,
the loot boxes could be bought, I believe, with coins
like
in the
in
game.
world currency.
Yes, and if you got a duplicate card, you could sell the card back and then use those coins to buy another box. Right?
Working the
But
system.
what that meant was no card was useless, right?
Yeah.
But you could play as an engineer and get cards for the demolitions.
Right.
You can't do that now. You get cards specific to the class that you play at the end of a match. So you have to play. So for me to maximize my engineer's stuff, I need to play as an engineer or spend coins to buy cards directly. Right? Now, again, that's all fine because you can earn the coins, right?
Yeah.
By doing challenges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's all looking okay so far.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where I slightly lose my temper. I don't know if you earn coins in matches. I haven't been paying attention to that, and you used to. So I don't. If they're taking that out, it means that they're restricting the amount of coins that you can get to how many they give you for certain challenges in a certain season.
Yeah.
But as I said, this is where I get a wee bit upset. You can draw, depending on the difficulty, you draw a certain number of cards, and your chance. Sorry, ear is really sore. You play the game and you win a certain number of cards, right? And depending on the difficulty, those cards are either common, uncommon, rare, or let's call them legendary, right? I don't know if that's the exact phrasing of them. I think they have ranks, like rank 1, 2, 3, and 4. But let's say they're like that. If I play it on beginner, we've got 60% chance to get a level 1, a rank 1 card, a common card. And then it's like 10% for each of the other three.
Yeah.
Or 15, 10, and then 5, right? But if I increase the difficulty, that obviously moves the sliders all around, and I'm more likely to get a higher rank card. But see, for example, if I pull 6 cards of rank 1,
Yeah.
and my character has fully upgraded all those cards, because you upgrade them by getting duplicates and ranking the cards up, or leveling the cards up, sorry.
Okay.
I pull cards I can't use.
Yeah.
Now that's absolutely, I get that. I can't just get all the cards that are common and then expect to be handed the most difficult to get cards while playing it on beginner. But what I can't stand is that if I maximize the level of a card and pull a duplicate for it, I don't get anything for that. The card doesn't become a different card of the same quality, and I don't get any spare coins or experience points or anything. All that happens is I have a useless card that disappears.
That is incredibly infuriating.
Do not punish your players for playing your game, because that's what that is. You're punishing them by giving them something that would have been useful when they played it before, but because they've kept playing your game, is now useless, and you're still giving them it. But when I started playing, I obviously hadn't maximized any cards, so every duplicate was important. But now that I have, I'm getting duplicates I can't use.
That's ridiculous.
So I'm hoping if I'm being honest, because it's very different. I've only got one card I think that's fully leveled up. I'm hoping that it's just that card because this card is a bit different from the others because it's just a score multiplier and they give you that card for every class straight away. I'm hoping that maybe it's the only card this happens with. But if it does happen with all of them, it's just going to turn it into a tedious grind fest. And see,
Yeah.
once you've hit level 20,
Mm.
all you're doing by playing that class is either being like playing the game properly or you're you're trying to find certain cards. Those are the only two reasons because you're not trying to level the guy up anymore. He's already at max level.
Yeah.
So I just think that I think they could have come up with this is a better system than 4 when it comes down to no loot boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't end up playing as a mechanic and getting cards for the marksman thinking, well, this is useless. But I just feel like there would have been a better way of doing that. Let me sell my duplicates or let me so then I can buy cards
Mm-hmm.
directly or let me or skins even with the same coins or just shift all the stuff across so that if I've only got one card that isn't maximized, every single rank 1 card I get it's just I don't understand why anybody thinks it's okay to put a system in their game that punishes people for playing it, for having had played the game. And that's really what it does. Even if all they did was once you had all the rank 1 cards fully leveled up, they start to give you cards for different classes. So I get rank 1 cards for marksman or pilot or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's just going to punish me for having played the game. And it's the one thing about Gears 5, genuinely, the one thing I don't like is that they've managed to sneak this. We took loot boxes out, aren't we brilliant? But we're going to find a way to punish it. I don't know. It's not deliberate, it's just a wee bit stupid, but I don't know why they did it.
I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't know enough about the game or the system in place.
The only thing I can think of is they're trying to keep the grind fest going so that people will keep playing the game, and then that means that any new players have people to play with. But I don't think there are many people out there that are grinding their characters to maximize the cards. Because if you wanted to do that, you would take away. You can actually pay to have the cards upgraded without duplicates. So you can basically buy cards, but you can't sell them. So I don't think anybody's doing that. I don't think anybody's grinding for cards. They're just being punished for having played the game, but they're still playing the game.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. I don't get it. I'd like to see the data to suggest why this was a good idea.
It's probably about leveling the playing field, from what it sounds like.
How so?
Well, like you said, it kind of, if new players come in, they're not going to be disadvantaged. I thought
It's not competitive. Combative. It's not competitive. Horde mode is cooperative. You're not fighting other people in horde mode. You're fighting with them against the AI.
Oh, sorry. I got sorry. I must have lost track along the line there. Sorry about that. Maybe it's so that everybody can get equal amounts of kills. I don't know.
Well, if I'm a level 1 character and I go in with I get 4 level 20s, I'm probably not going to get as many kills anyway. I just don't see how punishing. Also, there's different classes that are more effective. Like I have an increased chance of being the most important player because I'm the engineer, so I build all the turrets. So basically, there's 4 of me at any one time.
I honestly don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know why they've done it. I don't see any practical reason other than to try and keep people playing the game. But I think people would play it anyway because it's fun. I've even started to have a bit of fun in the player versus player multiplayer. I tried one game of that when I started playing Horde mode, like about a month ago or something like that. And genuinely, no, but 3 weeks ago, and genuinely, I just immediately went, nope, backed out. But I started playing again recently, and it's a bit better.
It's good.
But yeah, sorry, that story wasn't supposed to take so long. I was supposed to just say I've been playing some stuff, leveling some people up, but I genuinely just got lost in how annoyed I was at that.
I could tell.
Yeah. Also, I played a bit of Halo 5 and I was kind of enjoying it right up until I was trying to return the flag, and you get a medal for returning the flag. I capture the flag game
All right,
because one of
okay.
their guys had stolen the flag. I killed him, and I was waiting to return the flag.
Yeah.
But one of my team physically pushed me out of the radius of the flag, so I never got the medal.
Oh, that's not nice.
If
That's
I
not
have
fair.
added if I have added anything to the return of the flag, I should get the flag return medal.
Yeah.
I really don't understand. Always err on the side of giving your player something extra than punishing them by unfairly taking it away.
Yeah.
Um, it's something that we've been talking about, like Gears 5, and I think possibly 4 as well, is 3-player multiplayer co-op.
Right.
Well, there's 4 of us, so
Yeah.
they were playing it, and I was just playing other things while talking to them. And I tried to spectate, and it wouldn't even let me spectate. Why have you picked 3?
I know, it's a weird number.
And then the horde mode and multiplayer are all 5. That's fine. I get that. That's all right. But why have you picked 3?
There'll be some statistic analysis somewhere that's saying that's the best way to go.
Yeah, it's just weird. I really don't get it. It's just weird.
So, do you have anything else to add to the conversation?
Yeah, just
I've been watching The Witcher.
yeah, well, no, you've watched The Witcher.
I watched it in a day and a half. Technically it was less than 24 hours, so technically under a day. But I
Oh,
slept.
That reminds me. I can hold on. Give me a second. I can tell you which is one of my favorite Star Trek episodes because I just watched that last night. Try to stay awake.
Which one is it?
It's the one where they all have to stay awake.
Yeah,
So
you
they all
told me
start to go
that. You told me
yeah, they all
that.
start to go. Yeah, but I can tell you exactly which episode it was because they all start to go a wee bit insane because
Doolally.
they can't get any REM cycle sleep. It's called Night Terrors,
Yeah,
and it's episode 17 of season 4.
I've not watched it for about a month.
Hmm. What else? I must have played some Assassin's Creed Syndicate as well.
Well, you can save that for next time.
Well, I can barely remember now, so I won't remember next time. Just let me try and remember. Right, so we're on sequence 7, and I did all of the missions up till the last one, which is 5 or 6. I did one wee gang war as well, and my guys are now both level 7.
Cool.
Yeah, I've noticed that's really difficult in games when everything has a level and a rank, and now I'm talking about sequences and its class levels. It gets complicated unless you can see it.
Yes.
I can't believe, actually, in fairness, that I'm complaining about Gears 5. Yeah, Assassin's Creed was just, did some missions. Some of them were good, some of them were rub. Actually, do you know what? No. I would say genuinely, Assassin's Creed Syndicate has main storyline missions that are frankly not main storyline. They are side missions that have been put into the main campaign because the main campaign is essentially empty.
Good to know.
Like materially speaking, Syndicate is the emptiest, shortest Assassin's Creed I think I've played.
Right.
I know a lot of people said they liked it. I'm a wee bit disappointed. I'm going to go back and I'm going to read through each of the mission descriptions
Yeah.
and I'm going to actually see how much story there is in this because I reckon there is essentially none.
From what you've told me, it sounds like it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not enjoying playing it. I am. I am. It's in London, right? And before doing a mission, I had to go around the back of number 10 Downing Street to start the mission. But unfortunately, I annoyed some bad guys who were around the front, who were just passing by the front of 10 Downing Street because the house isn't sealed off at this point in history,
Yeah.
I think. And then there's police joined in because it's 10 Downing Street, so there's got to be some police somewhere. And I ended up killing about 30 people around the front of 10 Downing Street before I then went, and walked around the back of the house to activate said mission.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it. Before starting a mission round the front of it, I accidentally annoyed or I'd started the mission, I think, and I had to speak to somebody in a carriage right in front of 10 Downing Street, right?
Yeah.
And basically you're supposed to sneak up and get, but I didn't realize I was supposed to sneak up to the carriage and get in it. I thought I just had to get to the carriage and the game would put me in it.
Yeah.
So I stood in front of the carriage, and Mind Bloda is there going, "You need to get in," and that was when police officers all saw me. So that starts as soon as they see you, you're not anonymous. So I couldn't get in the carriage because they would just walk up and pull me out of the carriage. So then I'm like, oh, I can't go anywhere. So it filled the bar. They went hostile, and I had to kill about 20 police officers in front of the carriage, in front of number 10,
Yeah.
before I then snuck into it and said this. Honestly, I got in the carriage and just said, "Your life is in danger." Yeah, from me, I've just killed like 20 police officers. I'm not really the guy likely to be looking after them, am I?
No.
It was honestly just. It was really weird because the guy and the man and woman who were in the carriage were just like, "Oh, what are you doing here? I've been shooting people outside your carriage for the past minute and a half, and you're surprised I opened the door." Oh. I do find a way of coming up with ridiculous situations of breaking the game in a funny way when it comes to Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is one of the reasons I'm enjoying playing it. It's just a bit empty.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Just playing more of it. There's nothing big to talk about.
Well, if you liked what you have been
Is this
hearing,
Smash spoken word poetry?
if you like what you've listened to and you want to hear more of Tommy's adventures in Assassin's Creed Syndicate and how it's basically broken,
And how I find Gears annoying because it doesn't have loot boxes, but it has actually a much better system of card leveling up, sort of like what Battlefront 2 should have had before it came up with that ridiculous grind fest, and yet somehow I'm still complaining about Gears 5.
yes.
We've been spoiled. We need another Battlefront 2 to come out and ruin everything again.
So like I said, if you've enjoyed what you've heard and want to hear more, you can always like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, or share it with your friends and enemies.
But nobody else. It has to be friends or enemies.
And you can leave us a comment down below. That'd be fantastic. Or you can email us at overshadow.shadowcast@gmail.com, or you can find us at Facebook at overshadow.shadowcast. You can enjoy the videos. I don't think there was that I think that was all of it.
Yeah, I think you've tried to add something.
I felt like
'cause
there
you
was
think
something
you've
else
forgotten
there.
something.
Yeah. So, all that's really left is to say goodbye and thank you all for
Ow.
listening very much.
Yes, thank you. And
Tommy won't
goodbye.
hurt himself again.
I can't guarantee that. I'm hopefully got a bit of life left in me.